بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Since September 2019, the Islamic Education Trust Human Welfare Department has positively touched over 6,500 lives through its intervention program, the food aid program, the financial aid program, Qurbani meat distribution during Eid al-Adha, Widows Empowerment Program, the Orphan Care Program, and the Tree Planting Program. For this good work to continue and be sustained, we need your continuous support. Jazakumullahu khairan as we look forward to your generous donation. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, welcome back. Before we went on break, we were actually talking about what is parenting and the role of the mother and father as parents, and that the mother especially needs to dedicate more time for her children or for her child in order to give them a proper upbringing, and also to answer her name as the first school. And it was on that note that we went on break. Now we are back. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi
Now
wa
before we
barakatuh.
went on break, you were, on the issue of the time that the mother needs to actually give to her child or children to ensure that they are properly brought up. And we know that the responsibility of the father is actually to go out and fend for the family. But I'm sure it doesn't stop at that.
Yes, exactly. Alhamdulillah, ala kulli hal. Actually, it's the issue of parenting is a partnership between the mother and the father. It's the father because he's not always at home, he goes out. Whenever he comes out or during the weekend, it is his responsibility to look after the affairs of the children. For example, if they are already going to school, he should check their school bag. What have they done in the school? Were they given assignments? Aside that, whenever he is going to pray, he should go along with them. Or sometimes lead at home so that they see what he's doing. Whenever it is time for him to eat, he should sit in a circle together with his children to correct the manners they do, their manners of eating. He should ensure that in the morning they observe the morning askar. Equally ensure that in the evening they observe the evening askar. Watch their spoken language. How do they speak? How do they respond to the mother when she calls? And how do they respond to him when he calls? All these ones are the responsibility of the father whenever he comes back at home. Whenever it is time for them to go and lie down, what are they supposed to do? Perform ablution before they lie down. If there are two sexes, a boy and a girl, at a certain stage, Islam says you separate them in the bed. They don't sleep at the same time.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Malama. All the same, the modern day parenting has come up with a kind of new dimension, because like I mentioned earlier, the science of conceiving a child and giving birth to it has not changed, just as the Holy Quran is still intact, and that method is still the same. But you notice that today both the father and the mother are all out there, and probably the wife might insist of going out. So in the modern day society, what do you think should make a woman to insist on going out to men for herself, even though she is under the umbrella of her husband, whom she is supposed to respect and obey his instructions, but sometimes against his will, she's out there rubbing shoulders, also looking for means of livelihood or what?
Alhamdulillah. You see, we are having a problem to start with. If we are to take look at take a case study of a new family, you find that today, if couples have come together as husband and wife, parents go beyond their limits. Go beyond their limits in the sense that provide whatever it is the husband will do for the woman, for him. Married her out, gave her accommodation, give her a place to live, give her food, and even sponsor the husband to some certain level. At the end of the day, when this provision that we are giving to him got finished, he relaxed. Relaxed in the sense that he is expecting the parents to do the same thing they have done. If you look at some cultures, they don't do that. If a girl is married, they take her to her husband like that. Whatever it is they are going to eat, wherever it is they are going to look for accommodation, let them feel for themselves. This attitude we take in the North is killing the instinct of the man to go out and stand and feel for himself. And if the parent will stand and do this, where is the kawamuna we are saying? Those things they are doing are not their primary responsibility. They are the responsibility of the husband. And you don't enforce him to do it before marrying him. Allow him to go and do it after marrying. That is what is expected. And to some extent, again, some men have stand on the kawamun. They have maintained the family. But the women, on the other hand, are not contented. They are not contented. And that is why they look for extra time to go out to get extra source of income, not because they needed it, but because of their high materialistic tendencies. And that is detrimental to the home and to the children they are upbringing at home, they are rearing at home. So we should strike a balance between whatever it is we do outside and whatever it is we are going to do at home. That we do at home is our primary assignment. And that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask us about tomorrow. But what we do outside is just for this world. It's just for this world. Provided we do it well, alhamdulillah, it can serve as an ibadah. But if we go beyond our limit, it will go against us. I have a case study of a student, a pupil I taught some years back. This parents drop the child in the school as early as possible and come back to pick him very late. The management became fed up of that attitude because parents are being charged whenever they don't pick their children on time. They were tired of charging him, and the management gave me the child that I should take care of him. The father will not come until after Maghrib and will give the child instruction, don't eat in anybody's house. And I told him, if he's not eating in this house, don't come back here. He told the father. The father was annoyed and did not allow the child to come back again. The day he came back, I asked him. He said he's sorry. He was the one who gave the instruction. I said, by the way, where's the mother? He said, she's elsewhere working as a copper. I said, just a copper? Can't you bring her home to work with you? The wife is there as a copper and you cannot close from your working place on time to come and pick this child. He came early and leave late. Both of you are working at the detriment of this innocent child. He said, he's sorry, but I cannot understand. I said, I will understand. Please do the needful. Get your mother here so that they take care of this child. If you look at it, what happens after closing? 4 hours after closing or 6 hours after closing, the child is still in the school or
in the school environment.
In the school environment. What happens to the child? What happens to the tarbiyah by that time? Nobody takes care of him. Then he develops certain attitude you don't know. When he grew up, he became an ally in your own house. And that is the genesis of the talks we are seeing today.
That brings us to the issue of, this particular topic is talking about the sacred motherhood, the solution to the challenges of moral decadence. Now, for this particular child, since it's a small child, he would grow with it as maybe that is the way of life. I have an experience where a child, the way the family he grew up with, he has never noticed the mother and the father or his guardians, a kind of exchanging views with the husband and the wife, cheering up, cracking some jokes, laughing. So when he had a change of environment, he came to notice that there is a great interaction between the husband and the wife and the children. So he was wondering that, so our husband and wife do interact in this manner, because as far as he's concerned, what he grew up with is the normal way of living, how a family should live, that is between a husband and wife and the kids. And we know that Islam and our own traditional societies, we have our norms and values. So how should parents in particular inculcate these morals in the children, so that they don't grow up and think that that is the way of life?
See, the way to do that is very simple.
Yeah.
And I mean to say it's not far-fetched.
Yeah.
From the Islamic point of view, it is said that if a man is going to, for example, if you want to plant a tree and you don't have a viable seed to plant, you're not going to get a viable fruit from it. If you want to marry, you should look into the family you're going to marry from. What are the conducts?
Whether the husband
or the wife. Both. What kind of husband are you marrying? What kind of wife are you marrying? Because whatever you get out of that family is whatever is going to be replicated in your own house. In your own family. Some family, husbands and wives are wrestlers. Some family, are very sorry to say, are mushriks. And you don't know. Indirectly. Your interest is just the daughter. You don't know what the family is. You understand me? So, the family, the father and the mother, is the first eye of the child to the world. And they serve as the role model to the child. Whatever they come up with is what the child learns from them and do the same in his life. For example, he grew up to find out these parents are not sincere to themselves. They always lie. I'll give you a critical example. A student in the school, at the end of the time, was asked to tell the parents they should bring 100 naira for snapping, as it is in the culture of the school. The father, when the child went home and told the mother that this is what the class teacher said. The class teacher said, when we come back, we should come with 100 naira for snapping at the end of the time. When he told the mother 100 naira, the mother, when she was to tell the father, she said, the class teacher said they should bring 200 naira. When the father was to give the money, he called on the child. This is the money you requested. But he said, Daddy, it is 100 naira, not 200 naira. Then, if the mother can behave in this manner, what do you expect of the child tomorrow? The mother lied to the
part of his training.
Part and parcel of the training. So, parents should be sincere in whatever they do. If parents are hardworking at home, they are not lazy. Children will be hardworking, they won't be lazy. If parents are into drug addicts, the same children will be into drug addicts, because it is what they see them doing that they do. You cannot come home smoking or drinking and train your child to do a different thing. It's not possible.
Well, thank you so much, Alhamdulillah. We have so much to talk on this particular issue because it has to do with the foundation of the society. We know that it's from the family that society is developed and community, and therefore proper upbringing is what makes a good society or a decent society. And it starts from the mother and the father. And as Muslims, we have been told that the Prophet ﷺ has advised that choose a mother for your children right from when you are looking for a wife to marry, because that is the foundation where you will have a very decent children. We thank you very much, Mama Maryam. We hope to come up with another interesting edition of this particular program that has to do with the family, the mother and the father. Thank you so much for being there. We hope we have imparted a little in your knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you also.